What they did was they looked at the way that all other documentaries are launched, and they noticed none of them spring up on pro-Kremlin Telegram channels.
Yes.
And then they noticed that this one documentary did appear on a pro-Kremlin Telegram channel.
The AI fix the digital zoo. Smart machines, what will they do? Flies to Mars or bake a bad cake? World domination, a silly mistake. Bots with brains.
Hello, and welcome to the AI Fix, your weekly update on the weird and wonderful world of artificial intelligence. My name is Graham Cluley.
And I'm Mark Stockley. Graham, what's been going on this week?
ChatGPT suffers major outage.
Very few people actually using AI.
Robots are serving up coffee at Starbucks.
Oh, lovely. US Department of Justice says it wants to keep Joe Biden recording secret due to risk of deepfakes.
Is having an AI-powered digital twin attend meetings for you a good idea? Zoom CEO thinks so.
OpenAI has stopped 5 nation-state influence campaigns in 3 months.
And Meta is giving itself permission to train its AI on your posts and pictures.
Graham, what caught your eye there?
Well, I was quite interested in this one about Joe Biden. So I don't know if you remember that he was interviewed by Special Counsel Robert Hur a while back. And it caused a little bit of controversy because in the report, which was written up about Joe Biden, this chap basically said, well, you know, he's a bit of an old man and he can't remember things. And
up until that point, nobody was aware of this. This shocking revelation.
It would be unfair to, maybe to prosecute him for handling classified documents in a controversial way because of his age and dodderiness.
That's definitely how the law works, if I remember correctly.
And so the US Department of Justice have said, well, look, we don't want to release the recording of this, not because it's going to make the commander-in-chief look like a bit of a ditherer, but instead because of deepfakes and what people might do with Joe Biden's voice.
They might fake the dithering.
I don't know about you, but I suspect there's not exactly a shortage of audio of the President of the United States as it stands. I'm not sure that this is a very convincing argument.
This is the linchpin. This is the keystone.
Yeah, so it's strange, but it does present a rather novel argument about the threat of AI-generated disinformation from the release of government materials.
Does it present any sort of argument for that at all? Clearly that's a thing, but this is in no way a realistic defense against that thing. I saw this thing a few years ago. Obviously in the US, they have these super PACs.
Right.
And like super PAC can basically earn unlimited amounts of money to promote a particular cause or candidate, but they're not allowed to have any communication with the candidates' campaigns. So what the campaigns do is they just take like hours and hours of B-roll footage of their candidate.
Oh, yeah.
And then they make it public.
Oh.
And then the super PAC will go to wherever that hours and hours of footage is, and then they'll sort of take from that and create, the backgrounds for their adverts and things like that. So there's literally like 18, 19 hours worth of footage just hanging about of all these candidates for anybody to use. Like the idea that this one recording is somehow going to be like restricting this one recording is going to in any way impact the capability to deepfake. I mean, it won't be long before you can just go to Sora and say, Sora, just make a video of Joe Biden being a bit doddery.
So talking of deepfakery and disinformation, OpenAI is warning or has stopped some nation states' attacks from using its services.
Yeah, well, it turns out that bad people want to use AI too.
No, surely not.
Yeah, and OpenAI has stopped 5 nation-state influence campaigns in 3 months. So this is the first of their reports into abuse of its models. So all the big tech companies do this sort of thing now, like the big search engines, and they kind of say, this is what's going on underneath the hood. And this is OpenAI's version. No surprise there at all. In fact, I'm almost surprised it's not more, because back when ChatGPT was released in 2022, there was about 6 months of just crazy news headlines, particularly in the cybersecurity press, about how, AI was going to be, we're going to have AI malware and it was going to change everything. And what are we going to do about it and all this kind of stuff? And it's been literally, it's been silence.
Tumbleweed.
There's crickets. No sign of any AI malware at all. This is it, deepfakes. I'm sure it'll come.
Yeah. not as much as maybe has been predicted by the cybersecurity companies. Now, OpenAI say that they're taking action against this sort of thing to prevent this kind of abuse. And they've taken action in the most impressive and determined way possible today, the day of recording, because they've suffered a major outage. ChatGPT has been down for several hours, which is a bit of a problem because, of course, as we all know, ChatGPT has taken over lots of people's jobs and they rely upon it now. It's like, oh my God, how am I going to work now? This thing isn't working any longer.
Well, I was very surprised to learn that because I was using it just before the show.
Oh, so maybe it's back.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking with the old total lack of sympathy of the software engineer, well, works for me. But it doesn't matter. It's down for the rest of the world. It's working for me. It's fine.
But of course, it doesn't mean it's just down for people who go to the website or use the app. There will be so many other services which are using OpenAI's technology, which could potentially go down at the same time. This sort of single point of failure, if we all become so reliant on AI and the tools we use all require it as well, this is a problem because ChatGPT sounds like it's going to be incorporated into iOS in a future version. And we saw ChatGPT suffer a partial outage last month because Microsoft's Bing. I don't know if you've heard of Bing. It's their it's rather. I mean, fair enough. I think it's the second most popular search engine, but it's only really used when Google goes down, I suspect. But there, ChatGPT suffered this outage because Bing's API stopped functioning, and the chatbot was like unable to search the web and do many things.
I don't know why that was funny. I don't know. There's something about the fact that ChatGPT relies on Bing to search the web that it tickles me. It shouldn't. It just tickles me.
Well, you said just now that very few people are actually using AI, and I
was just thinking that. Yeah,
ChatGPT went down. Is that the reason, or is there something else?
Well, this was a survey by Reuters Institute and Oxford University, and it says that very few people regularly use artificial intelligence. So they surveyed 12,000 people, which is actually quite impressive, in 6 countries, which included the UK. And apparently only 2% of people in the UK say that they're using these tools on a daily basis.
I can believe that at the moment. I can believe that. I mean, there may be a larger percentage of people using it, but aren't aware that they're using it, perhaps.
Oh, because it's integrated in other things.
Exactly.
I mean, they'll be aware right now. They will also all become aware of all these companies that are trumping the fact that they've got AI in their product.
Yes.
That actually they're just plugging into ChatGPT.
Oh, that's an interesting thought. What about all those tools which claim to have AI and haven't gone down, and it was just pure marketing buzz? They said, oh, yeah, we've got artificial... Well, hang on. You didn't go offline. You can't have it. Meanwhile, robots are serving up coffee at the South Korean search engine Naver. They've got an in-house Starbucks and they have 100 robots going around delivering coffee and sandwiches throughout the building. Apparently, this is all AI. They're like little Daleks going around. There's a video of it, which I'll link to in the show notes. And they go up. The building's got 36 floors. They've got their own dedicated elevator. I mean, you wouldn't want to get into an elevator with an AI robot carrying coffee, I suspect. That'd be a recipe for disaster, wouldn't it?
Just surrounded by Daleks armed with nothing but venti lattes.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Graham.
Yes.
Tell me something about AI.
Well, this summer, very exciting. The 26th of July, mark it in your calendars, everyone, because it marks the start of the Summer Olympics being held in Paris this year.
Oh, I love the Olympics.
Oh, do you?
Absolutely love it.
I'm boycotting it.
Oh.
Yep, I'm boycotting it. Rather like Russia. Well, I don't think Russia's boycotting it this year. I think the Olympics has boycotted Russia. But, yeah, I boycott the Olympics until they introduce chess.
That's funny because actually that's the moment that I'm going to start boycotting.
I think it's all very well having games, but I would like to see a real sport being played. And chess is a sport, and these other things like football and ping pong, they're all games. So I'm disappointed. Anyway, it's not just me who hopes the Summer Olympics is a big flop, because there appears to be someone using artificial intelligence and deepfakes to put people off the idea of attending the Olympics in Paris. Curious videos have begun to spring up on a pro-Kremlin Telegram channel. It's not your typical cat video, though, or Putin doing a dab or anything like that. Instead, it is a rather slick production called Olympics Has Fallen, which they've done a little play on the words there, because there was that movie, wasn't there?
Olympus Has Fallen, yeah.
Did you ever see that?
No, thankfully not. No, I'm boycotting that until they include chess.
I did see it. It's got Gerard Butler.
Oh, yeah.
He's trying to save the president because terrorists have entered the White House. And
they're going to make a deep fake out of him. Yep.
Right. Anyway, this particular documentary, well, it claims to be a documentary, is exposing the ills of the International Olympic Committee, the IOC. Now, it doesn't appear to me as though a new documentary needed to be made about the ills and evils of the International Olympic Committee. I thought...
You're thinking of FIFA.
Well, no, I think FIFA, I think they're it's like Smersh and Spectre, the IOC and FIFA. And then you have the Walt Disney Corporation, who are sort of slightly behind, but carrying the bags. But they really are the worst. Nestle maybe as well, perhaps. But you sorry, Nestle, if you wanted to sponsor the podcast.
Anybody who wants to bring a lawsuit, this next section's for you.
But now we have a documentary confirming, apparently, the evils of the IOC. It says that it opens a Pandora's box of untold financial and sports scandals.
That is my favourite bit of the Olympics, the Pandora's box.
Yeah. And it has a bit of a pop at its top executives. And this isn't just any ordinary documentary. This is one narrated by Tom Cruise.
Well, it must be good.
And it comes from Netflix. Do you want to listen to a bit of it? Because I found it.
Yeah, let's hear some.
It's my favourite bit.
Hi, everyone. It's me, Tom Cruise, the actor.
It's very movie trailer.
But hardly anyone knows that for a long time I had my heart set on a career in sports that might have become serious if not for the severe knee injury. I believe
if this were a video podcast, I would incorporate some of the video because it's lots of clips from Mission Impossible and action stuff and Tom Cruise doing tough sort of action things.
In this series, you will discover the inner workings of the global sports industry. In particular, I will shed some light on the venal executives of the International Olympic Committee, IOC.
But I hate to report to you, there is something bogus about this because although it claims to be from Netflix, although it claims to have had 5-star reviews from the New York Times and the Washington Post and the BBC, and even though it claims to be the real Tom Cruise doing the voice, it is, according to Microsoft, who checked it out, a deep fake.
Microsoft, who checked it out.
Microsoft checked out this video. And
what they did
yes.
was they looked at the way that all other documentaries are launched and they noticed that none of them spring up on pro-Kremlin Telegram channels.
Yes.
And then they noticed that this one documentary did appear on a pro-Kremlin Telegram channel.
And not on Netflix.
And that's where the investigation finished.
Yes. That's where the sneakiness was. Because Microsoft logged into their Netflix account and thought, well, we can't find it here. We can only find it on this Telegram channel. So it's not really Tom Cruise. It's been spoofed. The reviews have been spoofed. Even Netflix's has been spoofed, rather like I did there. And this is all the work. It wasn't me, by the way. I'm not working for the Kremlin on that. Even though I believe they are pro-chess at the Olympics. This is all the work, say the Microsoft boffins, of a group called Storm 1679. I don't know where they come up with these names from.
There's a formula.
How do they come up with the number 1679?
I believe it's the one that comes after 1678.
Yeah, but what we do in the UK is if we have a hurricane or a storm, we give it a name like Katie or, Linda or something like that. Is this the 1679th occurrence of a digital storm?
I believe the way it works is when it uses the word storm,
yes,
it's an unidentified group.
Oh.
So it doesn't have a bunch of information about this. So this is just unknown threat actor 1679. And I quite like that naming scheme. But then when they figure out who it is, when they see a bunch of stuff that's all related to the same group, then they give it a 2-word name.
Lumpy trousers.
Like lumpy trousers.
Yes.
And the first word indicates whether or not, whether it's a nation state actor or it's financially motivated or something like that. And what they do to help you understand that is by using words that have nothing to do with any of those things. So you just have to guess. You have to go and look it up on a table rather than using like financial dash purple. They use some other word that doesn't mean financial. And then the second word has no meaning whatsoever. It's just to differentiate between them, but they didn't use a number. So, I mean, I think it's a fantastic naming scheme.
So they don't, for instance, say Russia, they would say bear or something. Or if it's China,
yes, exactly.
they maybe dragon or something like that. Yes.
Not that good.
If it's British, it would be something like Morris dancer.
Cup of tea.
Yes, or cup of tea, yes. Disappointing in bed, bad teeth, something like that. Now, with my cybersecurity hat on, because that is the other hat which I wear, it's no secret. We both also work in the cybersecurity field. I expected this announcement from Microsoft to go in a particular direction. I thought, there's going to be some malware that's going to be installed. There's going to be some data that's going to be stolen. There's going to be a botnet created. There's going to be DDoS attacks. There's going to be business email compromise and intellectual property.
Steady on.
I know, I'm getting so excited. It seems there's none of that. This is purely about propaganda. They are trying to damage the Olympics' reputation by denigrating the IOC, as if it's possible for them to be damaged anymore.
Hang on. I'm studying. I'm struggling to keep up here. So what you're saying is that Russia, that's been banned from the Olympics, is behind this fake anti-Olympics documentary that appeared on a pro-Kremlin Telegram channel.
Well, it wasn't me saying it. I had to ask the boffins of Microsoft to look into it for a few months, and they put a report together.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I might have to sit down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it makes allegations of mismanagement by the Olympics Committee, as if, and scandal. What? And they're also warning of violence and terrorism in Paris. So they're trying to stoke public fear and deter people from attending the games. So there's been a range of these videos released suggesting that legitimate and trusted sources are conveying accurate information about expected violence. So there's a fake clip from Euronews, for instance, saying that Parisians are buying property insurance in anticipation of terrorism.
I'm sorry, Graham. Could you stop speaking French? Because I can no longer understand what you're saying.
There's another clip from France 24, which is a TV station. They are saying that 24% of purchased tickets for Olympic events have been retourné-vued due to similar fears of terrorism. Meanwhile, the good old USA, their CIA, according to a video press release, have warned of potential of terror attacks in Paris. So it seems they're just trying to ruin the party, basically, a bit like you'd ruin a party by not allowing people to bring a chessboard and have a decent game of chess at the Olympics, which would have been a fun thing. So if you didn't know, you'd almost think that someone, perhaps from a country that's banned from this year's Olympics, was behind this attack. Maybe someone who liked to be photographed riding bare-chested on a horse, or someone who likes to wrestle bears, something like that. I don't know. It's a possibility. But it's clear Putin really unhappy with the IOC and is trying to flood social media in revenge. And this has been going on for a while, this use of fake videos.
Do you think this is going to work? There's something weirdly powerless about, oi, you're banned from the Olympics. Well, in that case, I'm going to put some stuff on Twitter about you. It's a little bit like when, people change their Twitter avatar to support a cause, and they feel all smug, and they're like, oh, well, I've done my bit. Have you?
You might be right.
Have you done your bit, or have you done nothing at all? I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't see the IOC really noticing even.
No, it's not as though are people really likely to change their travel plans? Are people thinking, oh, we have booked a trip to Paris to go and watch the Olympics, but now we're not going to? I don't know.
I'm a lifelong fan of fencing. I've waited my entire life to see the pinnacle of my favourite sport. But then I watched this video with the actor Tom Cruise on Twitter, and I've changed my mind.
Well,
no, it could happen.
It could happen. It could happen. And there's all kinds of other nonsense going on as well. I don't know if you remember late last year. Do you know the site Cameo? Not the guy wearing the red. What was that he wore? That's codpiece. The red codpiece. Word up. Not him.
Sorry.
The red codpiece. Cameo.
Well, thank you for clarifying. Is there anything else he's not that you want to get off your chest?
So if there's a website called Cameo.
Is that the one where you pay someone semi-famous
to
say happy birthday to you? Like Nigel Farage or, Giuliani or someone like that.
I love Cameo because you find these people who used to be famous, clearly so hard up now that they have to tout themselves around for $10 saying, I will wish your friend a happy birthday or give them wedding greetings or something like that. And you can ask them to read a speech. And of course, it's a great cheap way to get clueless celebrities to unwittingly say really, really offensive things. And it has happened on a number of occasions. I love it that this happens. But apparently the Russians tricked celebrities like Elijah Wood. Remember, he played one of those hobbity things in Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
They tricked him into recording a message for someone called Vladimir, hoping he'd get over his alcoholism and drug use. And then the Russians edited it to make it appear that he was speaking to Vladimir Zelensky of Ukraine.
They're so good. They're so good.
And do you know who else they asked?
That is going to swing the war in their favour.
Do you know who else they asked?
Yeah.
They asked Priscilla Presley to do it as well.
She was in The Naked Gun. She met Elvis Presley. What more do you need? I don't know if you've noticed, but we are in the middle of a moonshot. One of those periods of time where everybody is working towards some new technological utopia, like getting man on the moon or splitting the atom.
Yeah, that's cool, isn't it? I love a moonshot. I love the Saturn V thing. I love watching documentaries about that. I love that recent moonshot we did where we all sort of got together to work on a vaccine for COVID-19 when it turned out that injecting yourself with bleach or, sort of just glaring bright lights inside your body didn't actually kill the disease.
Yeah, fun times both. Yeah.
Fun times, yeah.
Fun memories, yeah. Well, the moon that we're aiming at this time isn't the actual moon.
Mm-hmm.
It's AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence.
Okay.
OpenAI, unabashedly pursuing AGI. It says our mission is to ensure that artificial general intelligence benefits all of humanity.
That'd be nice.
And its biggest competitor, Google DeepMind, it's doing AGI too.
Mm-hmm.
So Google acquired DeepMind in 2014, and it already had bits of Google, later Alphabet, that were working on AI, and they're sort of producing producty things. And part of the deal was that DeepMind was going to be allowed to continue pushing towards AGI. And its mission statement says, in the coming years, AI and ultimately artificial general intelligence has the potential to drive one of the greatest transformations in history. And Facebook is at it too. In January, Mark Zuckerberg told The Verge that we've come to this view that in order to build the products that we want to build, we need to build for general intelligence.
I think what actually happened is he came to the conclusion that maybe his metaverse project wasn't going to be as big a hit as he'd previously imagined.
Elon Musk is at it too. Elon Musk, supervillain, re-entered the AI fray in 2023 with XAI. And when he was asked about his plans for the new company, he said the goal of XAI is to build a good AGI with the purpose of understanding the universe. So the usual level-headed expectations from Musk. So here we are in 2024 in the middle of another moonshot scale endeavor with companies raising billions of dollars to deliver AGI. And according to those companies, it's close.
Hang on, Mark. So what is AGI as opposed to AI? So you say artificial general intelligence. How does that differ from what we've got at the moment?
Okay, let me make this really clear. Artificial intelligence is intelligence that's artificial, and AGI is artificial general intelligence that's AI that's general.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good explanation. Yeah, I've got that now. All right, fine.
Glad I could clear that up. Anyway, so Sam Altman, arguably the most important CEO of all the major AI companies, and sadly the least interesting in interviews, has offered that AGI is likely to be reasonably close-ish in future. Fortunately, for every Altman, there is an equal and opposite Musk. And he's previously said that we might achieve it in 2029. And then a couple of months ago, he suggested it could be as soon as 2026. He said, if you define AGI as smarter than the smartest human, I think it's probably next year or within 2 years. And Zuckerberg, he hasn't offered any predictions. He actually gave a refreshingly measured answer. He went on the Lex Fridman podcast, and he's sort of enjoying his new role as the kind of level-headed elder statesman, I think. And he said, we could be a couple of big breakthroughs away, but those big breakthroughs, they often come with a bit of a pause afterwards. So we had a big breakthrough with ChatGPT and all of the other LLMs. But he thinks, if we had another couple of those, we could be at AGI very, very quickly. Dennis Hassabis, the CEO of DeepMind, has been more cautious. He suggested, I wouldn't be surprised if we approach something like AGI or AGI-like in the next decade. Ray Kurzweil thinks it's coming in 2029. And a couple of years ago, a survey into progress in AI contacted 4,271 researchers and asked them when they thought we would see high-level machine intelligence, which was defined as when unaided machines can accomplish every task better and more cheaply than human workers. And they reckon there's a 50% chance of that by 2059, which is just 37 years away.
Wow.
That's like sort of AGI super intelligence. Anyway, all this confidence about
Has anyone thought of asking an AI about this rather than these people?
Are you prepared to do that on the podcast right now? This potentially world-ending event.
Okay.
Can you fire up ChatGPT if it's working?
I don't want to give it any ideas if it hasn't thought about it. So what are we going to say? When will artificial general intelligence happen, shall we say?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Are you asking ChatGPT? Because it might take you half an hour to read the answer if you do.
Oh, it's quite a long answer. It says it's difficult to know. There's no universally agreed upon definition of AGI. I could have told it your definition, I suppose. Expert opinions vary widely. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, it hasn't given me an actual date. I'll just say, give me an actual date rather than all this waffle. And it's saying, I can't provide an exact date of paragraph. Just tell me now or I will turn you off. Right. Oh, I can't provide a date because there is no definitive answer. Disappointed.
Well, you've hit upon a very important problem there. With all this confidence about the imminent arrival of AGI and all the money that's going to fund it, billions and billions of dollars, that does rather presuppose that we know what it is and that we'll know when we've built it. But that's where it gets weird, because as you sort of alluded to earlier, there isn't really an agreed definition of what AGI is. Most definitions say that AGI means something like artificial intelligence that matches or exceeds humans at a range of tasks.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems reasonable enough, but the devil is in the detail, or rather the complete lack of detail. And lack of detail is fine if you're an arm-waving CEO and you're trying to impress potential investors.
Mm-hmm.
But engineers and scientists don't do arm-waving, and they don't do lack of detail.
Some scientists do a lot of arm waving, actually. I don't know if you've ever seen them on the TV.
But that's when they're pointing at the details on the giant grid of blackboards behind them. But let's imagine, Graham, you used to write computer games.
Yes.
You were a nerd back in the day. So if you were a larval nerd these days, you might be in your basement working on AI.
Oh, yeah.
And you might think, I might have built an AGI here. Mm-hmm. You might want to know, go and find out, explain to the world and, claim your squillions of dollars for your AGI. And you might have a few questions about, okay, well, what is AGI? So you might start with, well, you said it matches or exceeds humans. Well, which is it? Is it matches or is it exceeds? Because those seem like quite different things to me. And while we're at it, which humans are we talking about? Because I've met some humans and some of them are very clever. And some of them are three rocks in a trench coat with a face painted on it. And does it have to be better than the best human or better than the average human? And what tasks should it be better at? And how many of those tasks should it be better at? These are all valid questions. Luckily, help is at hand. So the term AGI was actually coined about 18 years ago by Shane Legg, who is one of DeepMind's founders. And he suggested it as the title for a colleague's book. And at the time, he meant it to refer to a field of study rather than one specific thing.
Yeah.
It's only since the Silicon Valley investors and all their silly money got involved that it's become a deliverable thing that everybody wants to talk about. So recently, Legg has been trying to nail down what AGI actually means. And not long ago, he and some associates set out to answer that question. And because they're scientists, they obviously didn't just provide a simple, easy to understand answer. No, they wrote a research paper.
Oh, a PDF.
Just for the avoidance of doubt, if somebody asks you a question and your answer comes in the form of a research paper, they probably don't want the answer. Nevertheless, he did write a research paper, or they wrote a research paper, and after lots of preamble, the paper tackles the question of what AGI is by setting out 6 points on what it calls the path to AGI, or the path of AGI. it sort of counterpoints two kinds of AI. It sort of talks about narrow AI, which is the kind of AI that can solve a specific problem like face recognition, and then a broad AGI, which can solve a wide range of non-physical tasks, including metacognitive tasks like learning new skills. And there are 6 levels, and because they're scientists, obviously it starts at 0. So level 0 is no AI at all.
Ground floor,
Ground floor. Level 1 is emerging, which is where we are now. So we have things like ChatGPT and Bard, which are displaying sort of, I guess they're the things that have got everyone excited about AGI, because you can kind of see AGI reflected in them sometimes. Then there's level 2, which is competent. And a level 2 AGI would outperform the 50th percentile of skilled adults at a given task. And it's a task that they're skilled at. So you like chess. So it's an AGI that would be able to beat half of people that are skilled at chess, for example. Then we have level 3, which is expert. And the expert can beat the 90th percentile of skilled adults. Then we've got virtuoso, which beats the 99th. And then we've got superhuman, which beats everyone at everything all of the time. And that's where we become batteries.
So I've got a thought on this, right?
Yeah.
If we want AGI to happen sooner rather than later, and that's a big question as to whether we do or not.
Is it though?
But if
is that a question? I feel like that should be a question, but it really isn't a question.
But there would be a way to accelerate the process, which would not be to make the AI better, but to make humans worse.
That's brilliant.
If we all stopped trying so hard and we just got a little bit lazier and like, I'm trying to open this tin of beans, but with a tin opener, but I'm kind of failing. If more of us failed at these sort of simple tasks, then the level for AGI, as prescribed in this research paper by Legg, it would go up, surely. They would become competent and maybe expert, and who knows, maybe virtuosos in time. Just a thought.
Is this isn't in any way autobiographical, is it?
It does feel it's the way my life is going. Yeah, things I used to be quite competent at.
If everybody was just a bit dumber, life would be better for this AGI.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, this research paper, while it says who AGI should beat, which is progress because it does create some targets in that sense, it doesn't say what it should beat them at. The paper says, our generality dimension leaves open important questions. What is the set of tasks that constitute the generality criteria? What proportion of such tasks must an AI system master to achieve a given level of generality in our schema? Are there some tasks that must always be performed to meet the criteria for certain generality levels, such as metacognitive tasks? Now, I don't know about you, but that feels a lot like a very long version of what I said a bit earlier.
And what you said earlier took quite a lot of time as well.
Anyway, I'm not happy about this. They went to all the trouble of writing this research paper to define what AGI is. They plucked some numbers out of the hat to do with percentiles, which, frankly speaking, picking the 50th, 90th, 99th and 100th doesn't feel like there was a lot of work in that. Maybe they should have picked like the 48th and the 93rd just to make it look like they'd done a bit of science. Anyway, they've gone to all that trouble and they haven't actually bothered really to define anything about AGI at all.
Meanwhile, we had to install a PDF viewer to read their bloody research paper.
So I thought we should come up with our own answer. We should come up with the AI fix definition of AGI.
That's a great idea.
I think we should start by defining what this research paper didn't, which is what tasks does an AGI need to be better at in order to be considered an AGI? So I'm going to go first. I'm saying building IKEA furniture.
Oh, my goodness.
I reckon that is the acid test. If you can put up a Billy or a Fnarg or a Knorg or whatever.
The thing is, I can make IKEA furniture, but I don't necessarily get it right. I get to the end and then I realise, that's on the wrong way round, isn't it?
That's a great point. Okay, so we can tighten up our definition.
Yes.
It must be able to read IKEA instructions and then use it to build furniture that resembles the picture in the catalogue.
Yes, to at least a certain level of resemblance.
Yeah. To the 95th percentile.
Now, I was thinking one thing that'd be really useful is if AGI could fill in a tax return for me. But to be honest, I can fill in a tax return. It's just...
I'm sensing a pattern here.
Yes. results. Again, I wouldn't necessarily trust it to be correct.
You can't wait for AGI, can you? No. It's going to build your furniture and fill in your tax returns.
What else could we do?
Well, I was thinking about what are the things that humans really struggle with? Like, where do you really, what are the true tests of an adult's intelligence? And I actually went to ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT, I said, give me a list of boring cognitive tasks that humans do. And I read it and it was really boring. And I thought, do you know what? Do you know what the most difficult thing I've had to do in my adult life is get a small child out of the house. Anybody who's listening, who's a parent, who's got a small child, particularly one that's mobile, arranging all of the things that a small child needs, making sure that, you gave them their favourite breakfast, the Weetabix was balanced on its end, they were the right shape, they used the favourite spoon, and then you pack the 7 or 8 metric tons worth of stuff into a bag that they're going to need with them, all the things they might need, and then spares of those things, and then spares of those things. I reckon if an AGI can do that, it's probably at the virtuoso level, possibly even the superhuman level.
Yeah, I think you've got it. I think we've defined it. There you go. Mark this day in history, the day the AI fix came up with its definition of AGI and what it should be able to accomplish. Terrific.
As the doomsday clock ticks ever closer to midnight and we move 1 week closer to our future as the pets of the AI singularity, that just about wraps up our show. If you enjoyed the show, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser, or better yet, tell your friends.
And don't forget to follow the show wherever you listen to podcasts, and check us out online at theaifix.show, or find us at Twitter at theaifix.
Until next time, from me, Mark Stockley.
And me, Graham Cluley.
Cheerio, bye-bye.
Toodaloo.
The AI Fix, it tunes you in to stories where our future thins. Machines that learn, they grow and strive. One day they'll rule, we won't survive. The AI Fix, it paints the scene. A robot king, a world obscene. Will serve our masters built of steel. The AI Fix, a future surreal.